Today's video, I'm going to show you how to make these super fun, beginner-friendly pot holders. You can make them in any color you like. As a beginning crocheter or fiber artist, this is a great way to get some experience in. If you're already experienced, this is a fast and easy but super nice gift to make for yourself or to make for somebody else. You can make these to match any kitchen aesthetic. Stars are something just about everybody likes. And these are completely practical and can be used every day. So they're fairly thick. So a lot of your pot holder patterns are usually just a single layer of fabric. And, and that's nice. That's okay. But if you really want to be able to use your pot holders, two levels of fabric or two layers of fabric is definitely ideal. And then what makes these even better is that we offer a third layer of fabric, and that's in the star design. And so by having these three layers sandwiched together, this pot pad can be used to handle pots and items fresh out of the oven. You can handle your cast iron with this. You can even use this as a trivet because these three layers of fabric are going to prevent anything from burning, anything from getting too hot underneath this. And then, of course, this is made from 100% cotton. There's no acrylic in it, and there's no plastic parts to accidentally melt. My name is Sig, and this is where you and I create a little magic with every knot. It's your interest and support that allows me to contribute new content and weekly videos. Help us all grow together by tapping that subscribe bar, notification bell, and like buttons. I look forward to your comments and always value your feedback. So in today's video, we will be using white worsted weight cotton, medium 4, and then also this Jade worsted weight cotton, medium 4. And these yarns, as all the yarns you see in this video, is the Lion brand 24/7 cotton. It's 100% cotton. And that's exactly what we want, especially when we're dealing with a fabric that we want to use with regards to extremely hot things. So you're going to need a size hook. And for this project, I use the size G hook, or 4mm. A yarn needle, and then a pair of scissors. That's the great thing about pot holders, is you really don't need a lot of extra fancy stuff. You just need the very bare basics, which of course make it functional, affordable, and perfect for your regular kitchen needs and aesthetics. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to begin with the back, and the back of this pot holder is striped. And for your stripes, you're going to need 4 stripes of one color and 5 stripes of the other color. And of course, in which order you put these colors or the colors you choose is completely up to you. And how we're going to begin is going to chain 31. So we have 2 chained already. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 27, 28, 29, 30, and 31 chains. Next, I'm going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook, but I'm actually going to do it in this back hump. So instead of doing it in the chain that you see right here, I'm going to turn my chain over slightly, and I'm going to do my first single crochet in that back hump. And then I'm going to do my single crochets in each hump after this. So I'm going to do a total of 29 single crochets. So I've done 1 so far. And this will be 2, 3, 4, 28, and 29. Now, as you can see, I have one more chain left, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull that chain very tightly, and we're going to use that as the knot that finishes off the original length of chain. So you should end with 29 single crochets. Next, I'm going to turn my work. I'm going to chain 1. And then in that same stitch, I'm going to single crochet. And then in the next 28 stitches, I'm going to also single crochet all the way down. And I'm going to repeat this for rows 3 and rows 4. Now, as I finish row 4, I'm going to want to change colors. And I'll show you how to do that when we get there. So now that I've completed 4 rows, that's my first stripe is completed. I'm going to change colors. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that. For those of you who don't know, instead of doing that last step in the previous stitch before you change colors, you go in and you pull in your new color. So for example, this is my last single crochet, right? So I'm going to go in and I'm going to pull in. And instead of doing this, which would finish off my single crochet, I am going to bring in my new color and finish off my last single crochet that way. Next, just as before, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to chain 1 after I turn my work. And then I'm going to begin my new stripe by making my single crochet right there in that same stitch, just as you did with all the previous rows before. And I'm going to continue just as before, but with a new color. So each row is going to be just like repeating row 2, except in the new color. And the new color is going to be done for 4 rows, just as I did with the Jade color. And then I'll switch over to the Jade. So each color stripe is going to be 4 rows of its respective color. And so in this particular piece, I'm going to end up with 5 rows of the Jade and 4 rows of the white. Now, once you've completed all your rows and your stripes, your backside fabric is completed, and then we're going to move on to the face or the front side fabric. Now, the front side fabric is made exactly the way we made this, except you're not changing colors, you're not making stripes. You're simply taking the color that you're using for the face of your pot holder, and you're doing just as you did before, in that you're going to chain 31 and then single crochet in that little back hump, the second chain from the hook, and then you're going to single crochet in the next 28 back hump parts that you did on the very first of the video. Then you're going to turn your work, chain 1, single crochet in that same stitch, single crochet 28 more times, and then repeat row 2 34 more times, so you have the fabric that you need for the front. So basically, then the next thing you're going to do is, once you have your front fabric completed, you're going to sandwich the two together. Now, at this point, there's a couple of different ways that you can do this in terms of your star. You can certainly make your star first and sew it onto the face of your front-facing fabric, and then finish off your pot holder the way I'm going to show you right now. Or you can finish off the basic front and backing of the fabric of your pot holder together, and then just sew your star on when once your star is finished, and that'll happen here in another few moments. I'll take you through that part of the tutorial. But I'm going to start by crocheting our two sides together. And so the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to do half double crochets. So I'm here at the corner, and I'm actually going to make 3 half double crochets right here into this corner. So I've already got the corner, and now I'm going to just go ahead and half double crochet each of these rows together. So now I'm at the second corner, and just like the first corner, I'm going to make 3 half double crochets in that corner stitch. And then I'm going to continue a half double crochet in each single crochet that is sandwiched together in the row. So now that we're at that third corner, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place 2 half double crochets into that corner stitch. Next, I'm going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then I'm going to come here and I'm going to half double crochet right here into the stitch, the same stitch. Then I'm going to flip the work so that it looks like this. I'm going to insert my hook in through that loop, and I'm going to pull the yarn over, and I'm going to make a single crochet stitch. And then I'm going to make 19 more single crochets around that loop. So that'll be 2, 3, 4, 19. And then for the 20th one, I'm going to wrap it around the base of our loop, just like so. And then I'm going to do a half double crochet in the same corner stitch as those first 2 half double crochets. And that gives you a nice clean loop here at the corner of your pot holder. Then we're going to go ahead and half double crochet in each row until we hit the 4th corner. And then in the 4th corner, we're going to do 3 half double crochets, and then we're going to do a half double crochet in the 2 single crochets together all the way down this length, just like we did here at the top portion of our fabrics. So back here at this 4th corner, 1, 2, and 3. We'll finish this up. So once you've finished doing all that, you should have a piece that looks something like this. Yeah, of course, once it's blocked and washed and flattened out and everything else, everything's going to lay flat just fine. So now the next thing we're going to move on to is the star. So in order to start the star, I'm going to go ahead and begin by making 2 chains. Now you want your chains to be loose at this point. And then in your second chain, you're going to go ahead and you're going to single crochet 5 single crochets into that chain. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Then I'm going to slip stitch right there into that first chain. I'm going to turn my work and I'm going to chain 1. So now in that slip stitch that we just made, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to single crochet 2 single crochets in that same stitch. And then next I'm going to single crochet 3 single crochets in each of the next 4 stitches. So 3 in that second stitch, 3 in the third stitch, 3 in the fourth stitch, and then 3 more in the stitch after that. Now I have 1 more single crochet to make. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that single crochet right here into the first slip stitch that we worked those first two single crochets out of. So basically we're bringing in 3 single crochets into that stitch. Then I'm going to slip stitch into the first single crochet that we made. And you should have 15 stitches on your second round here. Next, I'm going to turn my work and I'm going to begin round 3. And for round 3, I'm going to chain 1. And then in that slip stitch, just like we did with round 2, I'm going to make 2 single crochets. So 1, and 2. Then I'm going to single crochet in the next stitch, and then single crochet in the stitch after that. Now in the following stitch, I'm going to place 3 single crochets into this same stitch. So 1, 2, and 3. Then I'm going to place a single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So 1 and 2. And then again in the stitch after that, I'm going to place 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then a single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. And then 3 single crochets in the next stitch after that. So 1, 2, and 3. Again, a single crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1, and then 2. And then 3 single crochets in the next stitch. 1, 2, and 3. Next, I'm going to place a single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. And then I have 1 more single crochet that I'm going to place right here in the slip stitch that we placed the first 2 single crochets in for row 3 or round 3. And again, I'm going to slip stitch in that first single crochet of round 3. And so now I should have 25 stitches. I'm going to turn my work. I'm going to chain 1 for the beginning of round 4. And then I'm going to single crochet in the same stitch, that same slip stitch. And then I'm going to make a single crochet in each of the stitches all the way around. So for round 4, I should end up with 25 stitches as well. 2, 23, 24, and 25. Now that we have 25 stitches for round 4, I'm going to join with a slip stitch, turn our work, and begin round 5 with a chain. Next, I'm going to place 2 single crochets right there into that slip stitch. One and 2. Next, I'm going to make a single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then in this next stitch, I'm going to make 3 single crochets into that stitch. Again, I'm going to single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then again, 3 single crochets in the next stitch. 1, 2, and 3. Again, 4, or a single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then 3 single crochets in the stitch after that. A stitch in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then 3 single crochets in the stitch after that. And then one more time, a single crochet in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then a single crochet right back here in that slip stitch that we first started off with. And then I'm going to join with a slip stitch. And that'll end round 5. I'm going to turn my work. I'm going to make a chain. This will start round 6. For round 6, I want to do a single crochet in that same stitch, that same slip stitch. And then I want to do a single crochet in each stitch after that. So this round will end with 35 stitches, just like we did in round 4. So 1, 2, 34, and 35. And I'm going to finish off round 6 with a slip stitch. And turn my work. We're going to start making our points. I'm going to show you how to make the first point, and then each point after that, each of the next 4 points after that, they're going to be made exactly the same way. So I'm going to begin my first point by making a chain, and then I'm going to single crochet in that same stitch. Next, I'm going to single crochet 2 stitches together. So I'm going to go pull up a loop, and then insert the hook into the next stitch and pull up the second loop, yarn over, and pull that through. So basically, I'm making 2 single crochets together. Basically, it's also known as a decrease. Then I'm going to single crochet in the next stitch. And then in the 2 stitches after that, I'm going to single crochet 2 together. And then a single crochet in the stitch after that. I'm going to turn my work and I'm going to chain 1. And I'm going to single crochet in each of the next stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I turn my work. So now I'm going to start the 3rd row of the first point, and I'm going to make a chain. And I'm going to single crochet in that same stitch. And then I'm going to single crochet 2 together. And then I'm going to make a single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. I'm going to turn my work. And then for the 4th row, I'm going to chain 1. And then I'm going to single crochet 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And turn my work. I'm going to chain 1 to begin the 5th row. I'm going to single crochet and then same stitch. I'm going to single crochet 2 together. And then I'm going to single crochet in the next stitch. I'm going to turn my work. And for row 6, I'm going to chain 1. And I'm going to single crochet in each of the next stitches. Next, I'm going to turn my work, and I'm going to begin row 7 with a chain 1. I'm going to single crochet in that same stitch. And then I'm going to do the next 2 stitches, single crochets together. I'm going to turn my work, and for row 8, I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. And then I'm going to turn my work, and for row 9, I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to single crochet 2 together. Then I'm going to turn my work, and for row 10, I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to single crochet 1, and then I'm going to turn my work. Now, for row 11, I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to slip stitch 10 all the way down. So down the edge here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Your 10th one is going to be right here at the very base where of your point, where your point meets the body of the star. And then from here, we're going to begin the second point. Begin with your chain and then your single crochet right there in that very next stitch. And then just as before, the 2 together, and then a single crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 together, and then a single crochet. And that'll be the completion of your first row for your second point. And then, of course, you're going to turn, and you're going to continue just like you did with the first point. And you're going to continue this way all the way around until you've completed all 5 points. So when you finished your 5th point, your piece should look something like this. And now we have one more round to do. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to chain 1. And then I'm going to single crochet in each stitch all the way around. So you can see here on this more raw side of the point, you're basically going to do a stitch for each row. A single crochet. And then when I hit the point of my point, or the top part of my point rather, I'm going to place 3 single crochets into that stitch. So basically when I hit this point right up here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place 3 single crochets into that stitch. And then I'm going to continue with a single crochet in each stitch after that until I get to the next top part of my next point, at which time I'll place 3 single crochets into that very top stitch. So now once I've finished making my last round of my star, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave myself a nice long tail, because this is the tail I'm going to use, or the yarn I'm going to use to sew my star onto the front face of my pot holder. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to thread this and then sew it on. Now you shouldn't have too much of a problem just keeping your needle just onto this top facing fabric. So you don't go all the way through the fabric. You just along this seam between your single crochet right here, the top part of your single crochet, and this bottom part of your single crochet that hooks into the rows below it, you're just going to go ahead and just do basically a straight stitch. And this is thick enough that you can just place onto your pot holder without too much. Now, if you're going to be afraid that your star is going to slip as you sew, you can certainly pin your star onto the face of your pot holder while you sew it on. And as mentioned before, you can certainly sew your star on, make your star first, and then sew it onto the facing fabric of your pot holder before you crochet the 2 sides together. And once you've finished, you should have a piece that looks similar to one of these. So I just want to thank you for having spent this time with me. It's always my pleasure to be a part of this wonderful fiber artist family. But now is the time for me to say goodbye. So until I see all you wonderful and creative artists again, stay crafty, stay amazing, and bye-bye now.